The feedback that we've got from all of our licensees is this has actually been a real game changer in their business. What we find is that if you're a sole trader or if you have staff, you are the last line of defense. If there's an error, if you make an error or your staff makes an error and you sign off on it, it goes through the system. There's no safety net to catch that error. And that's why we're now saying to our licensees to implement these templates or checklists that we have. And they're really compliance templates. They act as a safety net, and it's like doing a mini audit on your own figures. So you might end up doing the BAS before you doing your BAS entries, and before you do the lodgement, we would recommend that you implement this checklist. So as you can see, it's quite detailed and it goes through the step-by-steps that you need to actually do to get the reconciliation and the right lodgements. So as you can see, it will say things like run the monthly reconciliation reports, make sure that all of those reports have been run correctly. But as you can see there is that it actually asks you to physically put the figures in. So you can put the figures in there, and as you can see, if the figure is not right or doesn't reconcile it, it will flag it there for you or your staff member. And then what it is if you can see that it's not balanced, you can click on the hyperlink next to that entry, and it takes you to the part of the system that talks about troubleshooting or why this entry might be incorrect. So it gives you the step-by-step guide of what to look for and how to fix that entry. So if you've got a staff member, it's a really important part of, providing compliance, but also giving your staff the chance to work autonomously. So what they do is that they do the entries, they then fill out the template. If there's an error there, the template will flag the error. They can then click on the hyperlink and educate themselves on how to fix that error, look at their process, see if they've missed a step. If they have, then rerun their figures and then enter the right figure in once they get that. So if it is all correct and it's reconciled, they can then go on to the next step. So this is great for business owners because when you're signing off on someone else's work, no one's going to bring you a template or a checklist that has an error in it. You be signing off on a template that you know is correct because they've actually filled out the figures and nothing is flagging as incorrect. This has really been a game changer for most of our licensees, and for a lot of licensees that have really implemented fully the pure bookkeeping system, they've been able to scale their business to a point where they're just overseeing the work. They're not actually doing the work themselves. We actually have 15 of our members that travel around Australia in camper vans, and basically they get to a Wi-Fi zone, they log in, they sign off on the templates, they see that everything's been done correctly, and they keep going. And this is an example of 15 members that have scaled their business to this point where they've got staff in the different states and they're traveling around Australia. We actually had a licensee last year who implemented the checklist, and I think it was the BAS checklist. And she came back. It was a well-established business, been in business for a long time, had over 200 clients, had quite a few staff members. She implemented the template and she came back and she said, oh no, it's picked up on a BAS error that I've been making for the last 6 months. So we said, look, don't panic, ring the ATO, ring the client. This is what you need to do. And she said, I'm so embarrassed. It was actually me that made the error, not one of my staff members, and I don't know how it happened. And we said, well, you know what? It's not great that the error was made, but at least you picked up on it, not the ATO or the client. And now you can fix it and move on. And when she then implemented these templates to her other clients and it picked up no errors or no problems with the lodgements, she had comfort that it had been done correctly, and she knew that going forward, these templates would pick up any errors before they made lodgements. So again, these are just a few that we have them for the end of period. So there's a few of the templates that you can see up there. And also too, these templates work in combination with the Pure Bookkeeping client bookkeeping manual. So if you were to sign up to Pure Bookkeeping, the two things that we would suggest that you do is to implement a client manual, which is a template that you can download and fill out for each client, and also implement these checklists as a way of making sure that everything you do is compliant.